baseball teams that everyone expected to get eliminated early but didn't. Back in 2019, the Miami Marlins were honestly one of the worst teams in all of baseball, as they lost over 100 games and finished near the very bottom of the standings, so nobody really paid attention to them or thought they would be a threat anytime soon. They had a super young roster, barely any big names, and their offense was so bad that they were being shut out in 1 out of every 5 games, which is almost unheard of in modern baseball. But what happened the very next year is honestly one of the wildest things you will ever hear about a baseball team. You see, in 2020, everything was different because of the pandemic, and Major League Baseball had to shorten the season to just 60 games, which meant that every win or loss mattered way more than usual, while the Marlins were not even expected to be competitive to begin with. And on top of that, just a few games into the season, they had a massive COVID outbreak that sidelined more than half their roster, so everyone just assumed their season was basically over before it even started. But the way the Marlins responded to this disaster is what really shocked everyone. The thing is, instead of giving up, the Marlins called up a bunch of young players and guys that most fans had never even heard of, and somehow they actually started winning games, as they went on a 6-game winning streak right after returning to play, which nobody saw coming. Meanwhile, the team kept finding ways to win close games, and their young pitchers like Sandy Alcantara and Sixto Sanchez started to look like future stars. So by the end of the season, the Marlins had a winning record and actually made the playoffs for the first time since 2003. But what happened in the playoffs is where things get even crazier. As it turns out, the Marlins were matched up against the Chicago Cubs, who had won their division and were expected to easily move on, but the Marlins just kept playing with nothing to lose, and their pitching totally shut down the Cubs lineup, so they actually swept Chicago in 2 games, which left everyone in shock. After this, the Marlins advanced to the National League Division Series, which was something that almost nobody on earth predicted when the season started, especially since the Marlins became just the second team in all of baseball history to make the playoffs after losing over 100 games the year before, and they were the first team ever to win a playoff series after such a terrible season. But unfortunately, their nice run ended in the National League Division Series when they lost to the Atlanta Braves.